What's going on, everyone? Today, I'm going to be going over my goals for the new year, 2025. And I made a little doc here going over two sets of goals because it's important to not just have outcome oriented goals, because these kinds of goals I feel like people write down just to get a little dopamine hit of what they would feel like if they accomplished them, right? But then they actually don't have like a method or process for how to actually achieve these goals. So I made sure to also include process oriented goals that align with these outcome centered goals. So let's just get started, right? I think it's important to write down your shit, talk about it, kind of get a feeling for the vibe of the year, what you're trying to get done, like what your intentions are this year. Because if you don't know where you're going, you're never gonna get there. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of have an idea for what you want to do in order to do it. So, number one, passive prop from challenge. Now, if you watch this channel, you know I'm an aspiring day trader now, day trading, and I've so far never even passed a prop from challenge. And disappointing because I had 2024 goals that included passing and getting a payout, but I failed all those goals. But I learned a lot last year, and just because I didn't hit the goals doesn't mean I'm going to give up or anything crazy, You don't lose until the day you quit. Once you quit, then you fail. I failed technically last year with these goals, but I learned a lot from them, and I'm even closer to those goals now that I went through that year. So number one, pass a prop from challenge, which goes in hand with number two, make 10K in 1 month from trading. Now I have a lot of optimism and honestly just very excitement towards these goals because I do know they're possible, and I know for sure this year I'm in a lot better spot than I was last year in order to actually accomplish these goals. Because last year I was adopting more of a swing trading style, and it just wasn't working out for me in terms of like time frames. Like, yeah, you could be profitable swing trading, but for me, my I realize that I'm not patient enough to do that kind of style of trading, especially at this point in my life when I'm able to look at the charts in the morning. um, Swing trading is more suitable for someone who is a full time employee, or you're just not available to look at the charts. But I'm a student, and honestly, like you'll have as a student, people talk about like, oh, like it's very busy, very time consuming. But these days, with the help of online resources, school really doesn't take up that much time. Like, especially for me, I'm in business. I'm a finance major, so like if you're an engineering major, it's a little different. As any STEM major, it's a little different because you actually have to like grind. I have some friends who like actually have to grind to pass, but for me, it's pretty chill. I have time to work on myself and these kind of things. But yeah, my goal to make 10K a month in trading, because once I'm at the point where I can make 10K a month trading, then I feel like that for me is at the point where I'm at where I don't really have to work to live. You know what I mean? Like if you can make 10K in a month trading, you can make 100K in a month. It's just scaling. So I guess it could be also make 1K in a month because it's all just scaling at that point. If you're able to consistently have payouts month to month, then it's just a matter of reinvesting and scaling up. But the reason why I chose 10K is because if you're making 10K, if you're able to make 10K in 1 month, that is a number that if you tell other people, they will respect and kind of appreciate what you're doing. Like they'll take it more seriously. And my goal is to basically be able to say that for income I trade. That's like how I make my money. Because right now I don't really have any real consistent source of any sort of high income. But once I'm able to achieve this, I feel like that is a number where people will hop on board with what I'm saying and actually believe what I'm doing and that is, I feel like at that point, that's when a lot of people will be asking me like, how'd you do this, what are you doing, like, what I mean. I think 10K a month is a good monetary goal, impressive goal for any sort of career. If you're making 10K a month, you're making 120K a year, that's pretty respectable for any sort of graduate level job, you know? So, number 3, win a jiu-jitsu tournament at blue belt. Now, this is going to be a very, very fun goal because I love jiu-jitsu and I have been training for a while now, and I have won one competition at white belt, but I got promoted this past summer about 7 months ago. So I'm a baby blue belt. I'm still very, 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 very new at the sport, I would say, but I'm very confident in my abilities because I spar and I roll with blue belts around my size, and I do pretty well for how new I am to being a blue belt. So I just want to test my skills as a blue belt in a real competition setting. I just want to prove to myself that I am good for a blue belt, even though I just, got the rank. And I feel like having this goal will help me be more motivated in the training room, be more consistent outside of the training room, and overall, this just aligns with my like lifetime goal of just being as good as possible at the sport as I could be. Because why not? Like, when I'm old as fuck, I was thinking about this on the airplane. Like, dude, don't you want to show your grandkids like a high? Like, dude, I feel like it'd be sick. You sit your kids down or your grandkids, like, hey, like, grandpa, what'd you do when you were in your 20s? And I just pull up a fucking sexy highlight reel of just me tapping motherfuckers out. Like, yeah, that's what I was doing when I was 20. Like, that's cool. I did something. It's like something to be proud about. Number 4, be able to do a full split. Now, these two are like more. These are kind of go in hand with jiu-jitsu, but overall there's health and fitness and like wellness. Being able to do a full split, I feel like having hip flexibility is very, very key in being good at jiu-jitsu, especially if you like to play bottom and you're trying to get a good ass guard. You need to be flexible. And right now I'm not flexible. I've started training the full split and the lotus pose, but my hips are so fucking just no external rotation at all. I can barely even sit crisscross applesauce. My hip can't rotate at all, so it just puts so much strain on my knees, and I feel that strain on my meniscus when I'm training. If I lock up a body triangle or something, I feel the pressure there, and I think mastering these yoga poses will help me, number 1, be a better guard player, and number 2, stay safer and help me avoid unnecessary injuries. But these are going to be hard because I'm pretty fucking far from doing both of these. So I have a routine of stretches I'm going to do every day. We'll talk about that more in the process goals. But yeah, these are 2 goals I'm very excited for because this goes in hand with my later goals too of being able to squat again. So senior of high school, I was 17 and I squatted 500 pounds. But like from all that training and shit, I fucked up my hips pretty bad. And I don't know if I fucked it up because of my poor mobility, but I just feel like I have poor external rotation. So when I was doing those squats, I was having a little bit of knee cave and a hip shift. So those faults in technique led to me getting really bad bursitis in both hips, trochanteric bursitis or gluteal tendinopathy. I'm not really sure what the diagnosis is, but on both sides of my hips, on the outer side, if I even train legs at all, I get the really bad just aching pain on the sides of my hips that radiate down my legs. And this could be IT band tightness, this could be so many different things, but I think just getting more mobile in terms of hip rotation and just overall my leg flexibility, I feel like this will help me get back to training pain-free, and that is a big goal of mine as well. Now, squat 405 pain-free. This is a big one because I know I could even squat 405 now, but I know I would be in pain after it. I want to get to the point where I can squat 405 and the next morning have zero pain. And that's going to come with, first, I feel like getting flexible enough, getting close to getting these poses, and then start training the squat again. And within 3-4 weeks, I know I can be squatting 405 smoothly. 7th goal, bench 315 again. The last year, I used to be really into powerlifting, and I bench 315 my sophomore year of college. I'm a senior now. But my goals kind of shifted, and I got really into jiu-jitsu. So lifting took a big backseat in my training, but I feel like it was also kind of just laziness on my part because, like, just because I'm training jiu-jitsu doesn't mean I can't follow a solid strength routine, you know? I was training in the gym, I was still lifting, but I kind of just got lazy with my programming and my diet. I just really fell out of love really with the sport of powerlifting getting stronger, but recently I got like re-inspired and I feel like it would help my jiu-jitsu as well, like being able to squat 405, bench 315, deadlift 545, my grip strength, my leg, my explosiveness, my upper body explosiveness. There's not going to be there's no harm in being strong, you know? And I also have goals of becoming more muscular, more jacked outside of jiu-jitsu. I just want to be jacked, you know? Who doesn't want to be jacked? And these goals align with the image that I have in myself of me. So I basically want to get these numbers down, and I feel like my physique would be at a good spot if I'm able to do these numbers while training jiu-jitsu, because it's one thing being able to hit these numbers if you're like peaked, like if you're a powerlifter just focusing on powerlifting, peaked out of your mind, you know, whole life revolves around it. But if I can hit these numbers while training another sport, that's like a real solid like strength base that I would be very confident in. Oh, actually, let me add another one too. Press 185 pounds. This is a huge goal. Never hit that. These numbers I've all hit, 315, 545. I just want to get to the point, I just want to get to my prime, basically, in current day, return to my prime, and then number 9, press 185, because I never really took the press seriously. I'm talking about barbell overhead press, and if I can bend overhead press 185 pounds standing with clean form, my upper body's going to be fucking just juicy, you know what I mean? I've never seen anyone be able to press 185 and they look small up top. So those are my outcome goals. Very excited to hit these, very confident. And process goals, actually I completely forgot about one goal. I also want to start taking my YouTube seriously. So 5K subscribers on YouTube. This is something I started around, making these videos I started around, 7 months ago. And I just think it's so fun documenting your journey, like where you're at in life in the current moment. So when you're older and say you've succeeded, you can look back and like kind of reminisce on the days when you were struggling kind of in the grind, you know? Like you can kind of look back and relive the times when you were in the struggle. And that's definitely where I'm at right now, you know? But yeah, 5K subscribers on YouTube. This is kind of a reach because I'm not even at 1,000 yet, and I feel like the videos I'm making are kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of just not really focusing too much on the YouTube, but I do want to increase my ability to speak, my ability to edit, my ability to basically garner attention on social media, and I just really enjoy it. I feel like it would be awesome to have a community that aligns with what I'm trying to do, and then one day have like maybe like an online Discord or something where I can be in contact with people, help them out. But I already know that the YouTube I'm gonna take way more seriously once I kind of have trading more figured out, because like yeah, I want to be right now my goal with YouTube is kind of just garner some sort of fan base. And the main way of doing that for me now is just being relatable, because I'm kind of showing people out there that, you know, you're not profitable right away. Like, it is a struggle and it is a journey. So right now, my YouTube is kind of just tag along on this journey. But once I'm profitable, I would want to get more into education, more into actually helping other people get to the level I'm at, you know? And within doing that, I would also make me a better trader. So I went over the tournament. Yep. So now let's go into the process goals. Now, first one, wake up at 7 a.m. every day. So if you trade New York session starts at around 8 a.m. So what I was doing last year was kind of just being lazy, waking up 10 minutes before market open, hopping on the charts, fucking groggy, looking at this, trying to find setups. Like, dude, think about a profitable professional trader. Are they doing that shit? Fuck no. You gotta be up an hour before, be locked in, have the Zyn in the mouth, coffee ready, fucking just clear focus and intent on what you're doing. And then with that, be on the charts by 7:45. I like to give myself around 15-20 minutes before market open, so I can kind of see my watch list and see if there's anything that can potentially have the opportunity that day. So I'll look on the 4 hour. I'll look on the 4 hour and the daily for the trend, if we're in a range, whether I think price is gonna retrace, and then whether if it's gonna retrace, what is it reacting off of? Looking at the left of the screen, like if we're in a bearish trend, right? We're very overextended, far away from the moving average. There's a lot of bearish imbalance above. Is there a low that price is about to take out, which could trigger a small retrace? Is there a order block or an old bullish for value gap that could act as a sort of like demand zone? There's a lot of things to look at. So I need to want to give myself around 15-20 minutes so I can look at everything and just kind of set up a potential. I usually flag all the potential setups with a little blue sticker. So I'd go through, tag my setup, set alerts for what structure points need to be broken for me to be, able to execute. And that usually takes around 20 minutes. And from 8 to 10 to 11, I like to just be on the computer, keep my eye on the market, see how everything's moving. And if a setup presents itself, it presents itself, And then that also goes into the next goal, follow every trading rule I have. Now, I have a whole other document going over my trading rules, but for me to be a profitable trader and hit my 10K a month goal, I need to stick to my rules. Like I talked about it in the last video, going over my first month day trading. If I just cut out the stupid losses that come from me not following my rules, I'm already profitable. I would have made 8% last month. Think about that. 8%. That's already phase 1 done. It's crazy to me. But those trades include a new rule I added, 1 trade a day. So it makes you kind of lock in and you're more selective with the setups you take because you only have one shot for the day, And that doesn't mean you have to take 1 trade a day also. It's just limit yourself to 1 trade a day so you're more selective. Another trading rule, obviously look for like impulsive breaks of structures, imbalance, but other trading rules besides the technical ones are like set and forget. So once you set your limits, your stop loss TP entry, and you're tagged in, just walk away, dude. Walk away from the computer, because the more you look at it and obsess about it, the more your emotions get riled up, and that's what makes you do stupid shit like cut positions early. Then you'll see your trade reverse and hit TP when you just stopped it out, prematurely. That's the worst feeling in the world. So yeah, that's another process-oriented goal. Just follow my trading rules. Next goal, backtest my system every day. This just goes in hand with just practicing finding the good quality setups and building conviction in your system, within your win rate. Figure out what times the more profitable trades are. It's basically just perfecting the craft, just practicing reps in the market. I've got this pretty down now. I feel like my biggest hurdle now is just sticking to what I know without looking at other people and changing up what I already have going for me. Next goal, read 10 pages of the Bible every day. This year I really want to get more in touch with Jesus and God, and I feel like I made a lot of progress last year, started praying a lot, but I still don't really know I do listen to some podcasts too, but I kind of want to read the word on my own and make interpretations on my own, because I think that's a great way to start, getting into the religion, is just reading the Bible and kind of connecting with him and learning about his message through your own lens, not through other people, so that makes sense. Next goal, read 10 pages of nonfiction every day. This could be trading books, psychology books, any type of book, but nonfiction. I'm not trying to fucking read no sex novel like all these chicks these days. I'm trying to read real shit. Right now what I'm reading is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Great book. Already read it twice. reading it the third time, and it's crazy now that I've read that book so many times. Like when I'm out in social settings, I can see who does the shit that the book talks about. I can just see how much more successful they are in social situations. Like the people with the most friends, the people with the most influence, they all do the shit that the person wrote about in the book. These people just, I guess, got lucky and they naturally just do this shit, or they took a course. Who knows? Like nobody knows. But yeah, like I just went. I was with a real estate agent today, and I just kind of saw her in action, how she was speaking, knew everyone's name in the freaking that we ran into. That's one thing in the book. Remember the name, repeat the name to the person you're talking to. People love that because everyone has a huge ego. They love the fact that you remember their name, makes them feel important. You have to be genuinely interested in the other person, act like you care, but you have to be genuinely interested. You can't just act like you care about them. You kind of have to change your mindset and teach yourself to find interest in other people, because everyone has their own story. It is interesting to hear about other people's lives, and you kind of learn from that as well. But yeah, just read 10 pages every day. That compounds. 100 pages every, 10 days. That's really good. In the month, you're reading 300 pages. That's decent. 7, train jiu-jitsu at least 6 times a week. This is crucial for the tournament, because if you're not training, jiu-jitsu is a thing where it's like, if you train more than someone else, you're going to be better than them. There's people in my hometown gym that go 2 times a week, 3 times a week. When I first started, they were beating my ass. But then I started going 5, 6 times a week last year. I come back and I destroy them now. It's just, jiu-jitsu is a very time-oriented sport where you have to put the time in, develop the reactions, develop the muscle memory, develop your game, develop your system, and you will be more and more better. It just comes down to training more, being consistent with it too. Obviously, if you're sick or injured, there's exceptions, but for me, train at least 6 times a week, Monday through Saturday, open mat Saturday, and there's the school I go to, there's a club on Fridays I'm going to go to, another open mat. Number 8, follow Keenan Cornelius' purposeful training method. Now this goes in hand with the other goal, number 7, but a lot of people, when they're training, they kind of just go in and follow what their school and their coach is telling them. So they kind of drift through training without like an intent. Now, this could work if your coach is really good and is making you he's doing the purposeful training for you. But a lot of gyms, they just show you random moves every day. You're not learning a system. Like, you're not learning everything there is to know about the half guard, and you know what I mean, which overhook, which underhook to get, what works here, what doesn't work here for you. Dude, the gyms that I'm telling you right now, the gyms that go in, they just show you a random move every day. They don't give a fuck about your training, bro. They're just trying to make money, dude. Real competitive gyms, you gotta have they have like a couple moves, a couple systems of passing and sweeping and submitting that you have to grind the same couple moves hundreds of times. What is the point of learning a move? You drill it 2-3 times that day and then roll. You're not gonna have that move isn't gonna be muscle memory in your game at all. You have to decide that, okay, when I'm rolling, I want to hit this move out of this position and practice doing that and that, and that's what the Keenan method is. You say you're rolling, you pick one takedown you want to hit that day. So say it's a single leg, so you pull the same side of the pelt in and you pick up a single leg. That's that only takedown you can do that day. And by doing that, it's like you're cutting off all their takedowns. So you're kind of learning what you have to do to get into the position where you could grab a single leg. So it's really good because you're getting the reps of the single leg in, but you're also putting yourself in situations where you have to do stuff to get the guy to give you his leg. Then it's like you have one pass you can do, so a leg drag, there's so many passes, but one submission, so take the back and the rear naked choke, for example. Think about how good you'd get at taking the back and getting a rear naked choke finish if that's all you let yourself do in a month of training and rolling. You can go into a competition probably after that month and choke out everybody from the back. And then same thing from guard. You have one sweep you hit. I really like the tripod sweep. I started doing like the X guard shit, taking the back from there. But there's a bunch of stuff, and I would say every week you try to do one thing, then the next week you can try something else, and you start to find out techniques that you fuck with and things that you're good at. Number 9, stretch for 30 minutes a day. this is a must because if you want a good guard, like I talked about, you have to be stretching. I have two, I have two stretching routines, one for the lotus pose and one for the full split. And these are very, very tough poses because like I don't know any guys that can do a full split and a lotus. There's only a couple guys. Jiu-jitsu guys are more likely to do it besides yoga guys. But besides that, I don't see any lifters. I don't see any average guy being able to do these poses. And I feel like being flexible is also just a healthy part of life. Like, wouldn't it be sick where you can just put your leg anywhere and you have no pain? Like, you just feel good when you're flexible. You know, who wants to be like tight and stiff? And 10, stick to a real lifting program, Wendler's 531 or Candido consistently. These are two programs that I'm going to do this next calendar year, and I'm just sticking to these two programs. Now I can switch exercises within the program, but I want to stick to these rep schemes because I know they work. They've worked for me in the past. I just got overburnt and honestly overworked with them, so I'm going to be more intelligent with the load that I'm doing, but I want to stick to these rep schemes because I know they work, and I know that if I stay consistent with them and eat good and sleep good, I will make gains and I will get as strong enough to hit these numbers. And then also 180 grams of protein every day. This is just for me to maintain the muscle if I'm going on a cut or cutting for a tournament. If I'm getting this amount of protein in, I should be good. I should be at a spot where I'm not losing too much muscle into the caloric deficit. And obviously, if I'm in a bulk, if I'm on a surplus, it doesn't really matter as much. But still, I want to give myself enough nutrients to actually grow and make the strength adaptations. But all in all, these are my goals and how I'm going to accomplish them for the next year. If you're in my shoes and you have some visions for what you want your life to look like, or if you have some shit you want to get done, I recommend doing what I'm doing. Writing them down, writing process goals that will help you get there. And yeah, because now I have this shit in my mind. So now every day when I wake up, I know there's things I have to do in order to hit these goals. If I don't have it down on paper or I haven't thought about it, you're just going to go through life drifting away. You're just going to go through doing what everyone tells you to do. You're going to go through life just like as an accident, really. You're not going to live with any sort of purpose. Like, you have to have a direction for where you want to go, or else you're not going to go anywhere. It makes sense to me now, but for a lot of people I see, they don't have anything, they don't have any like intention for the year. They just let it slip by, and before you know it, you're old as hell, haven't done shit. And that's what I feel like with guys, they get into a lot of mental illness issues and depression when they're older, because like that look at the suicide rate. What's the highest demographic for suicide rate? Middle-aged white men. Do you think that's an accident or just a coincidence? No, dude, because people let their life drift by, and then before they know it, they're fucking, living a shitty ass life because they let their life get shitty. You gotta be in control, man. You're in control. So write down your goals, fucking create some processes and systems that'll get you towards your goals, and have fun with it, bro. Pick shit you're passionate about. Read, touch grass, go out. Learn to fight, do something, bro. But that'll do it for this video. If you've watched it, enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe. I'm gonna be making a lot more content this year, so keep your eyes peeled, baby. See you guys in the next one.